I love that my messy apartment is in the background. That's the vibe, you know. Good morning, guys, and welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a little while since I have made a video or vlogged, but I just have my morning coffee going right now, my morning latte, of course. And yeah, I'm just going to be showing you guys kind of around for my day today. But also, don't forget to subscribe if you guys haven't already. I'm going to try and be making more content videos. I know I say that all the time. It's just kind of hard. And yeah, I'll follow you guys along, or you guys will follow me along for the day. Yeah. Hey guys, so I'm sitting here today and I wanted to kind of discuss with you guys the general direction and where I also want to take these videos and take my content, and just kind of tell you guys the direction that I'm thinking about right now. Don't worry, the food videos are staying, they're not going anywhere, so don't worry about that, and I will show that later on in this video. But right now I wanted to talk about something that to me has been very important, and I wanted to share it with you guys because I feel like this is something that needs to be shared and discussed. I know my following is mostly younger girls, and by younger I mean more like 16, 17, 18, 19, just younger than I am. And I feel like I have been given the tools to help them, and I just need to be able to share that with you guys. So I mean, this information could help a lot of you guys if you guys decide to use it. But basically what I'm trying to say is I want to start incorporating into my videos the process of starting a business. I've tried many times in my life to start things and they just never follow through, and I think I've been overthinking things and overcomplicating them. But I feel like if I break down the process for you guys, it won't only help you guys and you guys will learn the process of starting a business, but it'll also help me follow through with those steps, because sometimes when you're looking at the big picture it can be very overwhelming. There's a lot of steps and a lot of things that are required, and everyone in their lifetime has had $1 million idea at some point. It's just, are you able to implement that idea and make it a reality? So that's kind of what I'm talking about right now, and that's kind of what I have to do today. So basically, I'm not going to tell you guys exactly everything, but I'm going to tell you mostly everything. I don't know if that makes sense. I want to keep a little bit of some things a mystery, but I want to share everything also at the same time, because I don't feel like me withholding information really helps me, or it doesn't help you guys. And I've seen a lot of girls talk about these topics before, and like how to start a business, and either I see a lot of things or misinformation, or they're not very clear on their information, or it just seems like an overwhelming process because they're talking about it once it's already been done, not talking about it while it's in progression. So essentially that's what I want to share with you guys. I want to do starting a business from absolute nothing to finishing it, I guess. I've had a lot of business ideas in the past. A lot of them just require a lot of capital, which is money, which we don't have. A lot of just too much effort, in the sense of it just doesn't make sense for my lifestyle. I would have to hire employees, and hiring employees is something that is just not in the cards at the moment. So I wanted to be able to show you guys a process of something that would be manageable for girls that are 16, 17, 18, even 15, 14. You guys can do this. It's not as difficult as what it seems. It's just overwhelming when you see the big picture. I don't know how interesting this is going to be, but I feel like this is valuable information for girls who are not only in high school, but girls who are in college, and even girls who are outside of college, or even women in their 50s and 60s. If you guys want to start a business and you don't know where to begin, I can share some information. Background a little bit: I have my degree in marketing, currently getting my MBA. I've been fortunate enough to be able to attend college, and I've learned so much through college, but I do understand that not everyone has that ability, or they don't have the mental health to go to college every day, they don't have the finances to go to college every day, and there's no reason why those people should be exempt from this knowledge. So that's kind of what I'm doing today, and I'm only mentioning this because part of my day I have to go to the Clark County office in LA County, and I have to file my DBA. I'll kind of talk about that a little bit more in this video because those are a lot of very, very scary words that can be a little overwhelming. So obviously the first step is you're going to want to think of a concept that you want to start. This could really be anything that you like or that you feel passionate about, or just something that you think that there's a demand for. My only advice would be, you know, try and stick with a few things. Don't try and do everything on one concept. Say for example, so I'm trying to start an online store of some sort, just because I feel like that's the most manageable thing for me right now. You don't want to sell so many different products that the consumer is not going to follow through with a purchase. So for example, if you go on the Forever 21 website, there's so many different things. There's accessories, purses, handbags, bathing suits, clothing. There's so many different types of things, and it gets a little overwhelming for the consumer, that it just makes you less likely to follow through with the purchase. And by follow through with the purchase, I mean them actually going from point A to point C to where they get there. Thank you for purchasing confirmation. So yes, it seems nice to have so many different options, and a lot of you guys may enjoy going on the Forever 21 website and browsing, but a lot of people do wind up putting things in their cart and then just hitting the X out button because it becomes too overwhelming for them to kind of wrap their head around, because they don't even know what they're looking at anymore. There's thousands of products. So that's obviously step one. Step two would be establishing your LLC or your sole proprietorship. Again, very scary terms. The LLC stands for Limited Liability Corporation or Company, and basically all this is for tax purposes. I recommend doing an LLC. It has the best tax benefits, in my opinion. And when you file your LLC, you will be given what's called an Articles of Organization. So I have my Articles of Organization. I'm not going to show you guys it because it just has a lot of very important kind of information on it. But maybe I can find a sample. Let me try and find a sample online. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, so I found a sample online. Obviously it's like fake information, so this is what your Articles of Organization is going to look like. It's going to have the California seal. What's important is this number up here. This is your Articles of Organization number. It's a 12-digit number, very important, and having this paper is also very, very important for starting any type of business. So that's what your Articles of Organization paperwork will look like. It'll have the LLC's name on it, and filing for your LLC is relatively simple. You have a couple of options when it comes to filing for your LLC. I personally went through a lawyer, very expensive, don't recommend it. But you do know that things get done right when you go through someone like a lawyer or a CPA. But there's tons of websites that can do it for fairly inexpensive, and like they're fine. You know, if you guys want a more in-depth video on how to create your LLC and how to where to go online, or different places that I found that work just as fine, or the process of going through your lawyer, let me know. File your LLC. Do not try and start your business without these paperworks, because the IRS does not play around. You will get audited, you will get your business shut down, and it'll just be very discouraging, and that's not what you want. You don't want to put in so much hard work just for the IRS to come in and say none of this is legal and you have to shut it down. So after you get your Articles of Organization, you're gonna get an EIN number. An EIN number stands for Employee Identification Number, and basically this is an important number that comes with your Articles of Organization, and this is again for tax purposes, but you also need it in order to buy from wholesalers or just in general get business permits. It's an important number, and it's also with the Articles of Organization. the process that I'm in right now is I have my LLC, and I'm trying to create what are called DBAs. So you have the LLC, which is the corporation, and then underneath you have DBAs, and DBAs stand for doing business as. So if you don't want to create a new LLC for every business that you start, then you would just create a DBA. And DBA is just if you're not doing business in the name that your LLC is. So the way I want to have it structured is have the LLC and then have all my DBAs underneath it. That way it's just organized and you can do different names. You're not tied to your LLC name. Yesterday I filed for the DBA. So in order to file a DBA, you go online, you type in your state, and then you type in DBA and you type in your county. So I'm Los Angeles County. So they're going to have you do a search, and you're going to search the name that you want, and then it's going to tell you whether there are similar names or your name is taken, or if your name is not taken. And what you want to see is that your name is not on the list. So once you are clear and your name is not on the list and you've confirmed that your name is not on the list, you will proceed through the process and you'll just fill out some information. So it's going to ask you about your LLC. It's going to ask you your address, and then you're going to see the paperwork, and then you're going to approve the paperwork, and then you're going to print out a receipt, and then the receipt you have to take it to the Clark County office where you're going to pay to have it filed. And I believe the payment, it's $25 for the paper, like the actual filing, and then $5 for every DBA on that paper. So you can put multiple DBAs onto one paper. I know that this is a lot of information, but it's also very important information. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna go to the Clark County office and then file for my DBAs. After the DBA is established, then what you have to do with your DBA is you have to put an ad into the newspaper, and they're going to give me a list of local newspapers that are approved. So I have to put an ad for my DBA in the newspaper in order for anyone who wants to claim that they're also doing business under that name can claim it. So that's kind of an annoying process, but it's necessary when starting a DBA. So just be aware of that. Once I have my DBA, then I will be able to apply for a seller's permit. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. That's kind of the step process. So you guys are all cut up to speed on where I'm at in the business process. And again, all this paperwork is very overwhelming and it seems very scary. But it's not. You just kind of have to like write everything down and go through the process, and everything is a process. If you guys enjoy this information, please let me know. Like I said, I really just want to share with you guys because I see so many young girls with so much potential like on my social media and TikTok, and I feel like people are just not given the tools, and I just want to be able to help them and give them the tools to start their own things, you know, and have independence and freedom. And I just feel like it gets very blurred sometimes, or it just seems like the world doesn't want you to start something, or girls are just intimidated or scared. And I think that that's been part of my issue, is it's just been very scary and overwhelming. When you look up like how to start a business, one step I'm skipping just because I've done it so many times, and at this point I just don't feel like it's worth it for this business, is create a business plan. And creating a business plan is basically like writing a term paper for your business, and you're going to outline every single detail. So this is really good if you're starting a new business that requires a lot of different moving parts. It's very important to create your business plan so you have a plan on where your business is going to go, and it includes also a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan, profit and loss statements, just so you know where the business is going. I have found that with a business plan, it's very intimidating and it makes you overthink your business. And I feel like that's kind of how I got stuck, is like I'll make a business plan. I've done this like 6 or 7 times. You make a business plan and you go through the process, and then it's just you start to doubt yourself because the plan gets very overwhelming, the numbers are scary, and you're like, well, if I'm not making this revenue, then I won't be able to pay all my bills and pay for my overhead and all of this, and it just gets to be overwhelming. So I feel like scaling it down is something that's so much more manageable. So that's where I'm at right now. If you guys would like to make a business plan, or if you guys would like a video on how to make a business plan, there's tons of resources online. I would be willing to make a video about it as well. But business plans are also important if you're planning on asking for money from other people, especially banks. You are going to need a business plan. So now we are going to go to Van Nuys, to the Clark County office. And I guarantee you it's not going to be fun, but we have to do it anyway. So I will see you guys there, I guess. Hi guys, so an update. I just got out of the Clark County Register office. I know the lighting's weird. I'm like in the parking garage right now. So it was really easy. You just take, it comes in like a little scan like this, like you're gonna get a barcode. And then there was a paper that I was missing, but I just gave them my articles of organization and they were able to get me the paper that I needed. So it's really important to bring all of your documents with you because you never know what you're gonna need. So the next step is I need to find a newspaper and publish all my DBAs. So I did about, I wanna say, how many did I do? I think 5 or 6 DBAs, just to kind of give me variety or anything that I was thinking about that I wanted to start a business on. I went ahead and I did the DBAs for. And so one of them cost $38, and then the other one cost, I think it was around like $38 too. This one was $33. So like I said, it's $5 for each additional DBA. You should have just put it all into one paper. That was my mistake. That'll save you some money because when you file a new paper, it's $25 or $30 for that paper. So if you just put additional DBAs into your paperwork, it's only $5 per DBA. So that was a mistake on my part, but it's a little late to fix it now. So basically it's called a fictitious business name statement. So that's what you want to get published into the newspaper. So I just asked her, I said, do you guys have a list of newspapers that are credible in the area that I could use? And they gave me a full printed out list, and it has the prices that it costs to publish, and she said just go with the cheapest one, like it's no big deal. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna head over to their office. It's in Northridge. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And these papers are really important. These are the fictitious name statement papers. Get some extra copies. I got 2 additional copies to the original copy. It's always important to have some extras on hand because to get these papers are very difficult. You have to go and stand in line for a long period of time, and it's just better in general if you get some copies and keep them stored away. So that's that. These papers are also needed to open up your bank account. So you will take these papers to Chase Bank, Bank of America, whoever you bank with, US Bank, doesn't matter. And to open a business account, you will need these DBA papers if you plan to file under a DBA or do business under a DBA. If you're doing it under your LLC, that's fine. Then you would just take your EIN number and take it to the bank and set up your bank account. So I still have to do that. I don't know if I'll do that today. Also, to publish in the newspaper, you have 30 days within filing your paperwork to get it published in the newspaper. So it's just better if you have time to do it same day, go ahead and do it same day. I asked her if I was able to obtain my seller's permit without getting it published immediately. She said it's no problem, but I just want to kind of follow the steps and like do the steps diligently. So I just thought I would give you an update. I'm in the City Hall parking garage. It's a little sketchy here, not gonna lie. Definitely don't wear nice things here, but definitely just like when you come to these areas, be safe and be extra alert. I mean, nothing happens, no one really bothers you, but it's always good just to be extra cautious. They're a little bit in sketchy areas, and I just want everyone to be safe. But yeah, really easy, really simple. And I think, what is it, 70 bucks later, we have some DBAs. So let's go get them published, and I'll get back to you. Guys, I'm back. I think last time I spoke to you guys, I was at City Hall in Van Nuys, and I was getting the, what's it called? The DBAs. The DBA. I was getting the fictitious business names, which is also the DBAs, and part of the process is you have to go to a newspaper and get an affidavit, essentially, which is them putting the your name in an ad, and then it gives people a chance to see your name, and if other people are doing business under your name, they can appeal your name. I don't know if that makes sense. It's just part of the process. So I asked the lady at City Hall, I was like, can you give me a list of credible newspapers so I can go and find one? And she's like, sure. And she gave me a list of newspapers, and she told me just to go to the cheapest one on the list, which was around $30 per filing. I went, it was like in Northridge. I went to the place, and I was like, it's a no for me. It was like an apartment complex. It was in a really sketchy neighborhood, and I was like, I don't want to die today. So I said scratch that, and I went to the Acorn, which is so much like, it's just around where I live. It was triple the price, or double. I mean, it was $155 to file. So it was $75 and $80 for the two that I did. Again, that was my mistake. It would only be $5 per additional DBA if you would have filed it all in one paper. I made a mistake and filed it under two papers, so I had to pay $75 and $80 because I did 5 DBAs. But if you just put it all in one paper, it would only be $5 per additional DBA if you choose to do that. The lady was so nice and really helpful, and she said it publishes next Thursday, and then in 4 to 6 weeks I'll get my affidavit in the mail, and she's going to file it with City Hall, so I don't have to do any of that process of going back to City Hall and confirming that the affidavit went through and that I filed and all of that process. So that's another check done. Next on the list is going and getting a seller's permit. Now, you could apply for a seller's permit online, and I think it should be free, and it takes 14 days, I think, to get it online. But I'm just gonna go and stop by an office in Glendale, so it's like an hour drive, to see if I can get the seller's permit today. Fingers crossed, hopefully I can. Yeah, and I kind of like researched seller's permits online, and I asked the lady at the Acorn, I was like, I don't really know like where I need to go to get a seller's permit, and she's like, oh, just look it up online. So I hope I'm going to like the right office. I also saw a lot of things online charging people $95 for fast filing for the seller's permit, and from my understanding, seller's permits are supposed to be free, so don't do that. If you feel like you need to do that, don't do that. Just wait the 14 days or try and go into an office. From what I saw in California, they had offices all over California, so that should be simple. She also mentioned something about a business license, and I know about business licenses, but I'm not sure if I necessarily need a business license, so that's something I do need to look into, and I need to go to City Hall. I don't know if I'll make it today, but possibly tomorrow, just to understand if I need a business license. There's a guy next to me. I'm sure he thinks I'm crazy. It's fine. So, yeah, that's about it. And I printed out all the paperwork that I needed. Advice, you just get a white binder like this, and put all your paperwork in it. It'll just make it so much easier than a file. I find that these with the little like clear like plastic things is so much easier than trying to haul around a manila folder. Also, I kept my receipt. Always keep your receipts, because those can be write-offs at the end of the year, so that's very important to keep all of your receipts. And yeah, let's see how finding the seller's permit goes. I don't know if this is interesting for people. I just want girls to be able to feel like they can start something. I don't know. I think I'm going off on a tangent. This is already going to be a really long video. So, I will drive to Glendale, which I'm not excited to drive to Glendale right now, but I will drive to Glendale and I will let you guys know how it goes. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we're walking away with a seller's permit today. If not, I'll just file it online and wait the 14 days. It's really not that big of a deal. Hi guys, so I'm back again in my car yet again. I think last time I talked I was going to Glendale. I'm in Glendale. I had to go to like the federal tax building and I got all the seller's permits that I needed to get and they're printed out and I have them, so I am 95% done with everything that I needed to get done with today. It's already 5 o'clock, so I won't make it to do the last bit, which is getting the business license for my city. I called my accountant and they said, yes, you do need a business license for the city that you will be shipping out of. So that's important and I need to get that tomorrow. And then I realized I haven't eaten anything all day long and I'm so hungry. So I went to Whole Foods and I got just like a salad. Here, I'll show you guys. I got like a salad with chicken. And I also got an egg in there for protein. And I got some Brussels sprouts. So honestly, the chicken is so dry. It's really dry chicken. But I'm just like so tired and exhausted. Which I'm not. I'm actually debating. It's just, I'm so hungry from driving around all day and I didn't stop anywhere, and that was probably bad. I probably should have stopped somewhere because it's already 5 o'clock and I'm barely eating. Whole food salad always hits differently. The chicken sucks. Dry as hell. I got a Brussels sprout. Let's try the Brussels sprout. Oh, Brussels sprout is good. I like that. But it's just been a long day. It's 5. I was thinking, I was like, you know, I'm all the way in Glendale. And I drive all the way back to Calabasas. It's like 5 o'clock. I'm just asking to be stuck in traffic forever. Or I could go to Disneyland. If they close at midnight, I might go. I have gas. We're fine. It's just getting dark. That's the thing. Do I go to Disneyland? Do I not go to Disneyland? I don't know. I don't know if all this was like so boring today. I hope like someone finds it interesting. I find it interesting. But it was kind of just like day 1 of kind of like getting my things together. Another thing I will mention is you need, if you do like different DBs or DBAs, like I did 5. So I needed 5 separate permits for each DBA. So the way it is like you put your LLC into as a seller's permit, you'll do your LLC, and then each DBA will be the same account number with a 4 or 5 digit code at the end that'll be different. The 4 to 5 digit code at the end that will be different, and you'll need that for each DBA. The part I also need to figure out is, I think I'm supposed to open a bank account for each DBA, but I don't want to do that. I want to open one bank account with the LLC because it doesn't make sense because they're going to be small. So I'm not going to open like 5 small accounts at Chase and then be charged, you know, like $25 service fee each month on each account. Doesn't make sense. So I need to figure that out. But We'll see. This is me just chilling in Glendale eating a salad in my car. This is my life. Should I go to Disneyland? Is that like too weird if I go to Disneyland? I just wanted churro. I'm literally just going to sit here and eat my salad and contemplate going to Disneyland. But let me know if this stuff is like useful for you guys, if you guys like it, kind of like showing the process, because I've watched a lot of videos of like girls who start businesses. I'm not doing this because their businesses are fake, it's just like girls who start businesses, but they kind of skip over steps, and I think that that's kind of tricky, because it's like they say they're saying everything, but there's bits and pieces that like you're leaving out. So I'm trying not to leave anything out, kind of showing the steps and the process behind it. I don't know where I'm going with this. So I just got home. Normally I don't eat out this much like in a day. It's been a while since I've eaten out like for every meal like in a day, but today was just one of those days. So I stopped by Erewhon. I live close to an Erewhon. If you don't know what Erewhon is, it's like a glorified Whole Foods where the food is just like better. I don't know if that makes sense, but I got a bowl and it just has chicken, white rice, and some broccolini. Very delicious, and I'm so excited. So I'm just gonna show you guys how I make the TikTok food videos. It's really easy. I don't put too much effort into it, because if I put too much effort into it, I will get frustrated with it if it's not turning out the way I want to, considering I do these every single day. So I really just try and make it as easy as I can on myself to make them. So I'll just like take my food and then I'll just follow the transition that I did in the last video. So the last one I was kind of shaking, so we'll just go with that. And that's it. That's how the food videos are made. It's literally 2 seconds. Not even 2 seconds, it's honestly 1 second. Oh, that didn't look good. Okay, I'm gonna redo it. Normally I don't redo it. Normally I'm pretty good at just like one shot and that be that, but this we're doing 2 shots today. And then I will just watch it back just to make sure that it doesn't look too crazy. Honestly, if it looks crazy, I don't even care. Like this kind of, it looks weird, but like honestly I'm so hungry, I don't care to bother to fix it. I'm so excited for this food. Oh my god. This is insanely delicious. Okay, Erewhon, I see you. It was honestly so much better than the Whole Foods meal I had earlier. The Whole Foods meal, I was honestly starving and it wasn't even that good. And you know, like if you're starving and something doesn't taste that good, it's probably really bad. I don't know when I became a mukbanger, but kind of digging it. I mean, normally I just kind of like mindlessly eat at the computer screen, so this is refreshing, you know. I'm so out of focus. These broccolinis are like the best thing that's ever happened to me. They're so good, and I'm upset because this whole thing was so expensive. Move over Trisha Paytas, because there's a new mukbanger in town. I see like the allure of it now. Like it's kind of fun to do, not gonna lie. I'm very like interested If you guys have any questions about like what I was talking about earlier, about like the business stuff, I want to hear your guys' questions so I can try and answer them. I can't guarantee that I can like get to every single question, because some questions I probably don't even know the answer to. But the ones that I do know the answer to, I will try my very best to respond to, because I think that young girls, especially since that's like what my audience is, these are important things that I think if I would have known at 15, 16, 17 how to do it and how to simplify the process, or if someone was just giving me a step-by-step guide, I could have done something so much earlier. So that's kind of just my whole mindset with trying to do it. Even like 20, 21, if I would have known these things, like these are just, you don't have to go out and implement these things anytime soon. Like just keep these facts in your back pocket. They'll come in handy. If anything, they'll come in handy on an exam in the future. But I just want to share my journey, because I think that this is something that a lot of girls want to do and they don't know how to do, and I don't even know how to do it. So I think I'm the best one to kind of learn from, because I'm just learning it too. So yeah, leave your questions down below and I will try and get to them. But in the meantime, I'm gonna stay here and I'm gonna eat the rest of this and it's gonna be great. So yeah, I'm sorry, I'll try and vlog more. Also don't forget to surprise. Also don't forget to subscribe and go follow my Instagram. I'll link it down below. And yeah, bye.